seem is fair. And this actually does not work because it would have more disadvantages than advantages. And not only that, but it doesn't work since it doesn't even address the current issues we have, such as the low voter turnout, as previously stated. Number one, our opponents state that by adopting this policy, direct election will increase voter turnout, but that's actually hard to prove. A quote by Margaret Tavis, a direct president in her study, Direct Presidential Elections of Missouri in 2009, states that a low voter turnout may be a sign of contentment or discontentment by the absent voter. Either scenario is actually difficult to confirm. And not only that, but direct election will actually have an impact, and as in it will decrease the number of people who actually want to vote by 7%. This effect is stronger than most existing explanations of turnout. Also, her policy calls for a tendency to call for a runoff election, and runoff elections are, according to Robert Scott from Proposals for Electoral College Reform in September 1997, it states that it is likely that fewer voters would actually come out a second time to an election because it would include electing governors, senators, and state representatives all over again. We already have a difficult time getting people to vote in the first election, so why would this direct election call for people to come and vote again? Another fact about the direct election is that it actually is not a very representative system of the nation as a whole. As I mentioned before, we tend to think about ourselves first before we think of ourselves as a nation, and that's what the Electoral College addresses, the nation as a whole. To put this in numbers, John Samples, from a critic of the National Popular Vote, states that 20 states may expect to gain from moving to the direct election. 6 of these states may expect to gain more than 10%. So Pennsylvania would gain at 20%, Michigan 15%, Ohio 15%, Illinois 11%, and New York 11%. So that's a little bit. But how about the negative side? How about when other 29 states and the District of Columbia lose influence from moving to direct election? Of those 20 states, they expect to lose more than 50%, such as South Dakota would expect a negative 9% of influence in the presidential election, Alaska a 61%, negative 61%, Wyoming's negative 67% of influence in the presidential election, and North Dakota with a negative 56%. So we're essentially taking away the opportunity for them to be represented equally by giving them a lower representation type of system. Second, the plan doesn't work because it would actually weaken our government system, our current federalist government system. States, as stated by Carolyn Jefferson Jenkins from the National Civic Review in the summer of 2001, she states that states as units will have no direct role in a presidential election. They would have only an indirect role, that of setting voting qualifications and administering election itself. Where would that leave our lawmakers and those who obtain political degrees in order to be able to represent people at the state level? Why would we want to leave out the experience that these individuals have in regards to their policies? A third statement that our opponents claim is that the direct election would be a more fair and more fair representative system, but if you value fair versus unfair, then why would we want a system that puts our individual needs before our national needs? what about those who want a more conservative type of government? Are they wrong for having such political views? Are we wrong because we want a certain president and our president wins? Are we wrong for that? So I'm pretty sure that people who vote for the losing candidate are, yes, they're discontent. But on the other side, there's people that whose candidate did win, and are they wrong for having that fair decision? Another important point is that the Electoral College is meant to be a more fair representative type of system, not an accurate or exactly represent each person's vote. As I stated before, the primary goal of the Electoral College is to involve everyone, not just people as individual people.